Hi everyone, it's Andy Tech with Check New Tech, and today I'm going to talk to you about my experience with the Samsung Galaxy S21 so far in the year 2022. Before I start talking about my experience with the S21, I do want to dedicate this video to Uday Shah. He holds a special place in my heart. He is a loving father and husband who unfortunately had his life unexpectedly taken away 10 years ago due to pancreatic cancer. I posted a link in this video below where you can donate, and any donation you make will help doctors and researchers fight this fight against this deadly disease that's taken so many lives. And hopefully, with the new immunotherapies and technological advancements, we'll be living in a world that's cancer free, and you and your loved ones will never have to worry about this again. So, if you do donate, I want to thank you in advance for supporting a cause that will have a lasting impact on the world. So, now I'm going to talk to you about my experience with the Galaxy S21 because I've actually had a chance to use it for about 2 months as my daily driver. So, trying to give it a really fair review and rating. When I first got this, I was a bit underwhelmed by it, other than the cool colors in the back and, the rose gold camera and, the rose gold camera casing. It's not really the camera itself. I was really unhappy because it didn't come with some essential things that I thought it would come with. It didn't come with headphones. It didn't come with a wall charger. I just felt like maybe this phone isn't that great because I've seen some phones that are like mid tier or lower tier and they at least include that. They include, the wall charger at the very least. So the fact that Samsung skimped out on it, I was a bit disappointed. But when I started setting it up, I realized that this phone is really, really fast. So my baseline was, I compared it to the Oneplus 8T, which has a Snapdragon 865. This is the 888, so it's a newer processor. It's supposed to be faster because it's a newer version, but that one has 12 gigs of RAM and this has 8. So I was thinking they took a step back because Samsung's previous phone, the S20, had 12 gigs of RAM, even though it had the previous generation Snapdragon. But what I found was this performed a lot faster than my OnePlus 8T, so I was really surprised by that. Overall, like, startup times were great. The refresh rate on the screen was great. It's at 120 hertz. I know it's FHD, but it performed really rapidly. Everything was just loading. Like, anytime I went to notifications, apps, everything just is so quick. It's like at the speed of light. You can see it from here. So I was really surprised by that. The speaker quality was really nice. It's fairly loud. There is a USB-C jack there, but you could use wireless charging with it, even though it charges a bit slower. The only thing that really annoyed me with this was turning it off. So the few times I needed to turn the phone off or reset it, it would keep turning on Bixby, which annoyed the heck out of me until I went to side key settings. I feel like this button by default should have been a power button. I've had so many Samsung phones before, and these are the volume buttons, this is the power button. And most phones that are even non-Samsung phones, that's the same thing. So the only way you could actually power it off without changing the side key settings is by pressing the volume down and power button at the same time, which also annoys me because that's the screenshot button. So if you press it fast at screenshot, if you hold it in, it goes to power mode. So I was taking random screenshots and it was just filling up my phone. I also wasn't sure if I liked the gesture controls more than the bottom navigation keys, so I kind of left it as is, but when you play something in widescreen mode, they disappear, so that wasn't a big deal. One thing that completely overwhelmed me with this phone was something that every phone advertises every year as a flagship phone, saying we have a better camera, we have a better camera. That's great. Everyone keeps saying we have a better camera, but my pictures come out really well. And I'm not a professional photographer, but one thing that I found that was really, really awesome with this is the picture quality was noticeably better than my OnePlus and my previous generation Samsungs. Low light camera was great as always, but I found that I could actually go into pro mode and edit the photos, and I could edit the settings for the photo before I take the photo, and my photos came out crisp and clear. And the coolest part about this, which I don't have with my other camera or with my other phones, was that I could go into pro mode with the Samsung Galaxy S21 on video. So I could actually adjust the white balance, the ISO. If that means nothing to you, it's okay. Just play with it, go into pro mode, try something out, and you'll be surprised by how creative or artistic or realistic your pictures could look depending on what you're looking for. I also found that, like, when I was using the selfie camera, this was pretty cool. I could use it near and far, so I could take kind of like the wide angle selfie. So if I have other people in the selfie, the picture comes out even it comes out pretty well, but it could capture more area, which I normally can't do because I'm trying to hold my phone back. And unless you're someone who travels around with a selfie stick, that's an awesome feature to have. And the pictures were really clear with the selfie camera. Usually that selfie camera is not nearly as good as the back camera. And even though this is not the best compared to the back camera, it's actually significantly better than other selfie cameras I've used. So the front-facing camera is what I'm talking about when I say selfie camera. But overall, like I said, it does have Samsung Pay, it has Google Pay, has a lot of great features. They're all built in. I like the fact that they didn't take out Google Pay and just put Samsung Pay. And One UI is really nice. It's actually crisp, it's clear, it's easy to use, easy to navigate with. Overall, I was pretty happy with this, and I was surprised by the way my videos turned out. But that leads me to one of the biggest cons in this one. I did get the 128 gig version, and Samsung took out the SD card slot, which is, you might think it's okay because you could get 128 gigs at the minimum. But if you're taking these high quality pro mode or regular videos, or you're using 4K or 8K resolution, you'll be out of space very quickly. And then you're going to have to upgrade to a new phone, or you're going to have to upgrade to a larger capacity if you want to keep the same model. So you have to make that decision ahead of time. If you have a lot of pictures and videos, that usually takes up the most space on any phone, even more than any apps you're going to download. Samsung puts SD card slots in their mid-tier and low-tier phones. I don't know why they did not put it in a flagship phone, other than, making you have to get the largest capacity, because a lot of people love taking photos and videos on their phone, and rightfully so. It replaces your digital camera today. The other thing I didn't like too much about this at all was the camera is raised here. So even if you get a case for it, you could actually see the case has like a raise here because they want to protect the camera. So that camera bump, it won't sit flat on a table. It's a little bit, shaky. It rocks back and forth. So, if you could get over that, I guess that's not the biggest issue I had with it. But overall, I was so excited about getting this phone, and I actually enjoyed using it a lot more than my Oneplus. Another aspect of this phone that's really cool is it pairs really well with the Samsung Galaxy Watch. I do have the Samsung Galaxy Watch that I paired with the OnePlus 8T initially, and with this, I felt like everything was more in sync, it was easier to use, and a lot of the Samsung Galaxy apps could translate to both. So just something to keep in mind. If you do have a Samsung Galaxy Watch, you might want to get the Samsung phone. The other cool part is the watch could charge right on the back of this phone because it also acts as a wireless charger. Another cool feature about the phone is it has an insane zoom. Even though it's not the same space zoom as the Galaxy S21 Ultra, it still has a 30x zoom, which is still pretty awesome. I mean, you really can't get that with any other phone in the market except Samsung, because they really worked on their zoom quality. Maybe Apple will have that in their next iPhone, I don't know. Two other areas of the phone that I didn't like too much was this has a plastic back, so I wish it had aluminum or glass back. It would just make it a little bit more premium, but if you're gonna have a case on it, maybe it's not that big of a deal for you. And the last small unfortunate part is it does not have a 3.5mm jack, which most phones don't have today, so you're stuck using Bluetooth headphones. But I guess the advantage is almost everyone carries Bluetooth headphones for a very cheap price today, so they're not really hard to find or buy, and in a way, you're gonna go wireless, so it's gonna be more comfortable to wear. So now for my final tech score on the Galaxy S21, I'm going to go with a 8.1. I absolutely love the phone in terms of the speed, the processor. It's so easy to use. Dare I say, I actually like One UI in this, paired with my phone, with my watch, with my headphones. And overall, I just like having the wireless charging option, and I like it becoming a wireless charger. It's really cool. It's nifty. I think Samsung really could have shown, if they decided to include the SD card slot here, it probably would have been in the 9 range. And I know I dropped it quite a few points for that, but that's a huge consideration because camera photos and videos take up a lot more space now than ever before, and you're going to run out so quickly that you're going to be frustrated with this. You're still limited to how much space you could use because you could only go up to 256 gigs if you buy that model. And that's going to be frustrating. If you had an SD card slot and you could put a 512 gig SD card or a 1 terabyte card, that would take care of all your application and photo storage issues right away, and you'd be able to use the phone a lot longer. So I feel like longevity is going to become an issue with that, because you're limited in the space, even if they continue to support it with updates. So just consider that before you go ahead and buy the S21. But is it okay for the year 2022? Absolutely. I actually like it more than my previous phone, so I would highly recommend it if you are looking for an upgrade. But if you have something like the S20, probably not necessary to go for the upgrade right away. If you're using an older phone, definitely consider this one as a formidable opponent. I don't know if I'd pay a full $800 for this. Maybe if you could find this for $600 or even $500 with a trade-in, it'll definitely be worth your buck. But at the full retail price, I probably wouldn't pay that for this phone. So I hope this helps you figure out whether you want to buy the Galaxy S21 the year 2022. Thank you for watching this video. Please hit the like and subscribe button below. This is Andy Tech signing out.